Hi guys, in this video, I'm going to be finding out, is the Samsung Galaxy S21 a good buy in 2022? Depending on if you have it or if you're thinking of getting it, this video is for you. And is it worth $480 for the base spec and everything like that on Amazon? That is what we're going to find out. And if you guys enjoy this video, then subscribe. First, we're going to check out the body. This phone has an aluminum frame with a plastic back and an IP68 dust and water resistant for up to 1.5 meters for 30 minutes of water. That does not mean you can drop it in a pool. This phone does not look outdated. Its curved edges feel great and does not feel overly huge. And the size feels perfect. I love the size. And I love the look of the phone. It just feels so clean. I mean, I never drop my phone, so I don't need a case. But if you're prone to drop your phone, a case is definitely something you should have on it. But I did know a guy who had this phone and he beat the poop out of it and it is still holding up. It has so many scratches. It's just really worn and worked hard. As for the weight, it weighs in at 171 grams, which is pretty light. And once I talk about the battery, you're going to be like, whoa. Because for 171 grams, the battery is terrific. I'll get to that in a little bit. But next, we're going to be looking at the front of this phone, and that's the display. The screen for $400 is a dynamic AMOLED 120 Hz HDR10 Plus, and its peak brightness is 1,300 nits with a screen size of 6.2. I know that was a ton of specs, but basically this display won't disappoint. With 120 Hz refresh rate, it is very smooth, very clean. Flipping through applications, no problem. Flipping through anything, and it's just gonna go through it like a breeze. Though for me, the screen looked a little plasticky. I don't know why, but that's just my opinion. I'm so used to iPhone screens that it was an alien-like to see this screen. Its resolution is 1080 by 2400 and an always-on display. So that means like if you leave the phone, you can glance at it and it's still gonna show the time. It's just gonna be really dim. The display again looks really sharp, like plasticky sharp in my opinion. But as for everyone else says, hey, this display is amazing, you're crazy. The colors are accurate. That's useful for editing photos on or maybe even videos on. I had no problem seeing this outside. Even in the sun, you're still gonna be able to see this outside with that peak brightness. You're definitely gonna get a good, crisp, sharp, color accurate screen. If that is something you want for photo or video editing, then definitely keep that in your wheelhouse. As for power, this is kind of a joke, but it has more power than the computer I'm editing this video on. This iPhone has 8 gigabytes of RAM and is, again, more than the computer I'm editing this video on. So for power, you're covered. Gaming is going to be so easy. I highly doubt you're going to get any frame rate, like any glitches or any frames dropping. It's a Snapdragon 888 5G. So yeah, power. The storage options are 128 or 256. I don't really like that actually. I wish we had like a 556 or I don't know, whatever the next one is up, because that's only 2 options, but still 128 is definitely going to be enough unless you like to take a lot of photos and a lot of videos. Then you're definitely going to go with the 256. But as for the iPhone, when the iPhone came out, it had 556. So when these two were like fighting against each other, basically, I would give it to the iPhone for that because the storage option was just better on the iPhone. It is a little annoying though that it does not give you that versatility. But, and real quick on updates, you should get updates for at least 2 to 3 years. It is kind of hard to predict this, but Apple gives you a 6-year guarantee. Samsung Galaxy S21, I don't really know what that is going to get as for support on updates, but it should definitely get a plethora of more support. Now, as for the beauty of this thing, the camera, it does have a 12 megapixel wide, a 64 telephoto, and a 12 ultra wide. You can shoot at 4K at 20 frames per second, which is pretty impressive. This is a video on the S21. Tell me how it sounds. And it has a 10 megapixel selfie camera, which can shoot at 4K at 60 frames per second. That blew my mind when I heard this. As for the selfie camera, it's just amazing. Everything about this camera is pretty amazing. The one thing that does bother me with this camera is that I was a little annoyed that I feel like it lets in a lot of light. You can definitely tell the difference between an iPhone shot and a Samsung Galaxy S21 shot. I feel like that this thing lets in a lot of light. For video quality, you're going to get some pretty decent video quality on this thing. Especially for only $480, you're definitely going to get some great video quality. The ultra wide is, of course, very good. Shooting it in 8K At the 24 frames per second, I would not recommend that. Just for the frames per second is so low. So if you're filming something fast moving, definitely no for that. But 4K at 60 frames per second is just going to be just fine for this video capabilities. So if you're going to do vlogging on this thing, it is going to handle it and you're going to be pretty much blown away. Because in my opinion, smartphone cameras are the future. It does have a fingerprint scanner, which is pretty snappy. It is pretty nice that you can just put your fingerprint or your finger on it and boom, you got your phone right there. The battery will last you a full day with a 4,000 milliamp hour battery and 25-watt fast charging. As for wireless charging, up to 15 watts and reverse charging, which is... Hey guys, real quick, as I'm editing this video, I did notice the lack of footage I had, so I apologize for showing the same footage over and over again. I will do better next time. Sorry about that, guys. Kind of weird. I'm not familiar with that. I've never done it. I really haven't touched a lot of flagship Samsung phones. Like, I actually sadly have not even tested the fingerprint. This is my aunt's phone and she's letting me review it, but I did do a plethora of research and I drilled her with questions. As for the colors, Phantom Gray, Phantom White, Phantom Violet, and Phantom Pink. I don't know why they're all called Phantom, because I don't know, maybe just marketing, but this is gray. And in closing, I'm just gonna wrap things up. Is this phone still good in 2022 for $400 to $500? I would say yes. If you're looking specifically for a Samsung phone, for $480, you're getting a great phone. And if you still have this phone and the battery life is still good, the battery health is still good, I would definitely recommend you keeping it. Maybe waiting for the Galaxy S like 23 or 24, because that is going to be more of an upgrade than the 22 for you guys. I would definitely recommend you guys keeping this. If you guys enjoyed this video, then make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. I will try to make a video on the Galaxy S21 Ultra. Yeah, that's the phone my uncle has. Maybe if he'll let me use it for a couple hours, I'll make a video on that. But I do have an iPhone XR, and I did make a video about that. So if you guys like iPhones more, then definitely check that video out. Peace out.